So we're back to Get Busy Podcast.
I'm B Jones.
Izzy,
What's good, people?
how y'all feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. We talking about The Conjuring.
Yeah, man. So it's we're coming up on the Halloween season.
It's Halloween. Yes, yes.
They started putting the pumpkins out. Like right after the 4th of July, almost.
Izzy is very anti-pumpkin, by the way, y'all. He does not mess with no pumpkins.
I do like pumpkin seeds though; they're delicious, especially when you roast them joints.
That's about it. Izzy is very anti-Halloween. Pumpkin seeds is the only thing that's as close as he gets. He better not put no pumpkin in front of his house. That's of the devil. He ain't playing with it. Okay? Look at his face. Look at it.
Hey.
See? He's for real with it. Now, we do, and we, different groups of Christians, we could talk about this. Like,
Yeah.
my kids, we trick or treat. You know what I mean? They have fun. Izzy? No. Trunk or treat? Nope. Fall festival? Nope. He ain't going nowhere.
No, we do like little fall festival.
Y'all do the fall festival?
Yeah, like because it is fall. You know what I'm saying?
At one point, I don't think you did though.
No, yeah. I got pictures of the kids going, to
Okay.
little corn joints and the little
That's
pumpkin patches and stuff like that. So we do that.
I thought you was super okay.
Nah,
cool.
nah. I do that.
All right.
Matter of fact, they're going this weekend to Washington Farm to do like a little pumpkin patch type joint.
Right.
So but I just don't operate specifically with Halloween. So we don't do the trick or treating. Not then. But if it's something like, for example, like Milas's Cub Scouts has like they're doing something on Monday where they get to dress up. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm
You're
saying?
not anti-costume party or
Yeah. But the thing about for me that Halloween is just like the eve, the day before, and the day of. Like I know where that originated, and so like the way I look at it is like, look, if they had a hang a Negro day, you know what I'm saying, 300 years ago or 500 years ago, and it turned into something else, I wouldn't want to be celebrating it today if that's what it was then. That's the way I look at it.
Ooh, you brought the blackness into it. That's tough. I feel you. Respect.
That's it. But I mean, I ain't mad at people. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I think everything is just based off of your own like level of conviction in whatever it is that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that anything is particularly. I'm the way I look at it is like the Bible's pretty clear. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to be following Jesus, and like all that other minutia stuff, you guys can work out on your own. You know what I'm saying? But as long as your heart is in the right place when it comes to Jesus, that's the biggest part of the picture. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like there were plenty of instances where there were disputes among the church. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, look, that's not the important part. The important part is Jesus. Y'all work that out. You know what I mean?
Eating food, sacrifice to idols.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Thing.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. So I came across this story, this movie. I think this is. When was the last time you watched like a horror movie, like a legit horror movie?
Oh no, it's been a little bit. I used to love them when I was in like high school. You know what I'm saying? And then shortly after, and then something just kind of clicked, and I was like, why am I like doing this to myself and inviting this into my like life?
Okay.
So maybe I've seen something. Oh, I guess is Sinners considered a horror movie?
So,
Or was that just like a thriller?
I kind of put it in the like that, and then like Get Out. I kind of put those in like suspense thriller, not fully horror. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, all that kind of stuff.
I've seen all of those.
Jason. I have not seen all. I wasn't allowed to watch, so if I did watch it, it was like I was off somewhere where my mama couldn't ring me in,
right?
Or whatever. But yeah, I never really grew up watching a lot of horror movies because I couldn't. And then, when I got older, I watched a few. Some of them was cool, but it wasn't like my thing. So I didn't care that much about horror movies. So I haven't seen a whole bunch of like the classic horror movies or whatever that other people have seen. I might have seen, how they started playing stuff on like TBS, whatever, and then we kind of edited out.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of those, but it's not something I was like, oh, I can't wait to watch. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But no, we were watching. I was looking at this YouTube video that came up about The Conjuring. I've never seen The Conjuring, and I think this is like the second or the third.
I don't know. It's a few
like
of them.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
Well, they were saying it's like one of the scarier, movies that's been out in a while, but based on the true story, right? And so I brought up these videos, so I wanted to do some reactions to how they were the opening day of this particular movie, The Conjuring. So let's take a look.
Vera had some very mysterious.
Every audience member of The Conjuring Last Rites had to go through prayer and receive holy water before entering. Few realized one bold decision by the director almost put everyone at risk. The Conjuring franchise is back with a new wave of terror. But unlike before, at the early screenings, every viewer had to receive a priest's blessing and a bottle of holy water before entering the theater. At first, people thought it was just a marketing stunt. But by the end of the movie, everyone understood why. Director Michael Chaves, along with horror master James Wan, wanted to push the fear to its absolute limit. To do so, they included real footage from the original paranormal case that inspired the film, the infamous Smurl family haunting from 1986. Fans of ghost stories know it well. While the movie added some dramatization, the actual investigation was recreated almost detail by detail, and the real recordings added an unmatched level of dread. It forced the team to find a way to calm audiences down. This wasn't the first time the Conjuring crew dealt with strange events. Actress Joey King fell mysteriously ill while filming the first movie, suffering from unexplained bruises and a dangerous risk of internal bleeding, symptoms that disappeared as soon as filming wrapped. Incidents like that are
Yeah, so a lot of, I don't know, like these priests, are they supposed to be like real priests?
Right.
Some people think they are. Some people are like, nah, it's a marketing stunt or whatever. But like, so if there's a movie that's out and you want to see it, but you need to get prayed over before you go see it, do you need to go see it? Is that tempting, God? Are you playing with the devil?
So that seems kind of like, well, first of all, I don't even know if the people really knew that was a thing before they got to the movie theater.
Okay.
So that, they might have just been going to the movies and then, there's a priest here, or, a quote unquote priest.
Yeah.
I think that if it's a marketing ploy, it's a good one.
I said the same thing. I was like, you know what? This is really creative marketing.
Yeah,
You got your priests, you got the bottles of holy water. They get like a little prayer card to go in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like when that happens, like if you were to go see that and you didn't know what to expect and all this stuff was there,
right?
You're gonna be telling everybody, hey bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to go see The Conjuring, man. They had a priest there. It was crazy. They was praying over me and gave me some holy water. Look at this holy water.
Right.
So yeah, marketing, from a marketing standpoint, I gotta give it to them. That's pretty genius.
Yeah. But then, so my question turns to like, from a priest standpoint, now granted, from a priest standpoint, I could see if they wanted to go to movie theaters for when people came out of the movies to get prayed over and maybe to get saved, right?
Okay.
Because they heard that it was, this, that, or the third, and maybe they were trying to help some people, get saved after the fact. But this was like, kind of a preemptive thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so maybe that's the thing too, hey, but why not try to talk them out of going to see it if you felt like they needed to, you see what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot of confusion for me when it comes to this. It's like,
yes.
And that verse about tempting God, I was looking at it. That was when the devil was tempting Jesus, right? After the 40 days. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's necessarily tempting God, but it's definitely playing with the devil. It's like,
so I think tempting God is like when you're purposely putting yourself in danger, but saying that like, oh, God is going to save me. It's like, just like the devil said, well, throw yourself off this cliff and the Lord will send the angels to catch you.
Yeah.
And then Jesus like, it was written, do not tempt the Lord your God.
Right.
So it's like, in other words, don't do stupid stuff talking about God is going to, you know what I'm saying? God is busy. He ain't got time for your stupidity. So this is what. So I've seen a bunch of these different videos. So here's what I noticed. Okay, I've seen like videos where like people would be in the mall like praying for people,
Yeah.
and like those people like get kicked out the mall. Like mall security will come and like,
Yeah.
hey man, you're disturbing the public. So like we're kind of living. I've seen videos where people like might be praying outside of an abortion clinic, like just silent prayer.
Yeah.
And like the police roll up on them. You know what I'm saying? So like we're kind of living in a time where the the world itself is not very open to like this type of thing anyway.
Correct.
And I'm not even saying that Catholics are Christians. I think most Christians don't consider Catholicism Christian. I think a lot of Catholics consider it to be the same thing,
Yeah.
or similar enough or whatever. So, you know, for me, I'm not going to feel safer getting prayed over by a priest, because that's like, to me, that's a whole different religion that I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't believe in.
Yeah.
But looking at all these different videos, like a lot of these priests, like they all got the same exact bottle of the holy water. You know what I mean? And then it's like one movie theater where a priest is like, hey, we want to come and pray for the people. Like they're like, yeah, that's cool.
Right.
So that typically doesn't happen. So to me it's marketing. So my question was, are these actual priests or are these actors? Or did the movie theater or the studio reach out to a bunch of priests like, hey, can y'all come and do this and we'll pay you this amount of money? You know what I mean? To me, it's one of those two.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that's a great question. I think it's probably actors. I find it difficult to think that, like, even if it is the Catholic Church, that they're sending, you know, people out. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll say I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. But
Yeah. So
I think you're right, though. I think it does have to be either one of those two. And the point that you brought about the fact that all of those bottles were the same at all of those different movie theaters. You know, how you got movie theaters across the country that have the same, you know.
yes. And so then I saw.
Every audience.
Hold up.
Vera had some very mysterious cross bruises appear.
Every.
Up here.
It's hard to put it in.
So that's the
The holy water bottle.
doing the prayer. And you see how they got like, it's too much of a setup. You got the table with the black cloth on it. You got the movie poster on the thing. So I saw another one of these where like it was a different movie poster, but then it had like an upside down cross on it. You know what I mean? Like why? Yeah.
See, that don't sit right. Like if you know what I'm saying, as a priest, that's not the imagery that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Like you're
gonna have pictures taken. You know, you're taking pictures.
You're advertising the movie.
That's exactly what you're doing, bro.
You're advertising the movie. So yeah. So yeah, great marketing on the part of the studio.
Yeah.
I'm not cool with the movie itself, but people do what you want to do. But as you know, as a believer, if I'm giving advice to somebody, I'm like, hey, bro, don't go see these movies.
Yeah. Look, man, we don't fight against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And you know, to think that the things that we're consuming is not going to impact what it is that we're doing or what we're, you know, anything is totally false. Like the information, the ideas, the television, the shows, the music, all of that is impacting our lives in a very significant way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing that's right about it. Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like even if it's just entertainment, which I'm okay with, and this is not judgment because, hey, like I just got finished saying a few minutes ago, you get to whatever level of conviction you get to. But there's one thing that's for sure is that when you can say, you know, is this biblically right or is this something that lines up with what, you know, quote unquote, what would Jesus do? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Would he be feeding himself fake Luciferian or, you know, conjuring type information? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the answer is no, you know, just period. You know what I'm saying?
And then, you know, the young lady that they pointed out when she was having like, I think she said seizures and like health conditions after like while taping, but like after they stopped filming, like she got better.
Yeah.
Like I heard her talk about that.
Yeah.
In a separate interview, I heard like the young man.
Yeah, that was supposed to be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supposedly. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Another young man, he from the show Snowfall, the main actor. He said,
brother.
It was the main dude. I never watched the show.
I just remember it was Bud Black. I never seen it either, but
Yeah, so like they said he prayed. He said like he prayed to the devil to help him to like be ready for this role to play it. Like, and then like after the movie, like he was having like these spiritual attacks like on him. Like he had to call his grandmother, who knew was a Christian, to get her like to like pray over him to get what he did to himself to get that off of him.
So this is where it goes to don't play with the devil, right? And so you know, we're talking about this time right now. Yeah, we'll jump back into this in a second. But this Halloween time of year, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's Halloween parties and costume parties, and it's a lot of drink. And so I was in the entertainment industry for a long time with throwing parties and restaurants, you know what I'm saying, and bars and clubs and stuff like that. And this is a very big time of year. And when it comes to restaurants and bars and nightclubs and lasciviousness and ultimately like sexual immorality, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a very spiked time of year, right? And I was reading an article on CBN a couple of days ago about how there's a extraordinary uptick in Ouija board purchases and tarot card purchases and stuff of that nature, because people are, you know, maybe you have it for a party or maybe you think
around this time.
Yeah, around this time of year. And there's stuff that you can deal with or get into thinking that it's innocent or thinking that it might not be real or thinking that it might just be fun. You know what I'm saying? But what you're playing with is very real, very dangerous things. And you can give the enemy access to your life, to your heart, you know what I'm saying? And not even realize you're giving up. You are like voluntarily giving that access. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's a very dangerous place to play. You know, so my suggestion to anybody out there is before you just jump into anything, pay attention to what it is you're dealing with. Know what it is that you're getting involved with before you do it. If it's got to do with Ouija boards, got to do with mediums, you know, psychic readings, tarot cards, anything that has to do with magic and things like that. The Bible's pretty specific, you know, and so if you're not a believer, you know, do with that what you will. But my encouragement would be to, you know, really look at some of that stuff and understand that this stuff is not really for us. This stuff is not something that's going to benefit your life in any meaningful way. You might see results. You might see things that you are fascinated by, but ultimately in every scenario, what happens is it spirals out of control beyond what it is that you're capable of actually dealing with without repenting and actually coming to Jesus, or like Brandon said, have somebody pray over you that actually knows what it is that's going on. And so for this brother to have, you know, actively prayed to the devil to like become better for the role.
Yeah, man. And listen, man, the devil, he'll give you the stuff that you want.
Yeah,
but it's a price. It's a price on the back end. You know what I'm saying? You know, they doing, and a lot of this stuff is happening with these movies. Like, I remember watching The Craft back in the day. I was like an older movie.
I remember that one too.
So like I saw this interview. Lady worked on The Craft Part 2, which I don't think it was as big as the first one.
Couldn't have been. But
they actually invited like real witches to the set to like, so some of the stuff can be like really authentic.
More authentic, yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. They do that to like, you know, a lot of movies. You know, they're bringing like military stuff. They're bringing actual military guys. So it's not a, you know, uncommon practice. But
they did that with the Sinners movie. Brought in somebody that actually dealt with voodoo to like, you know.
Yeah, so there's, man, you
just gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Bro. And but then that's also why it's so important to read the Bible, because your spirit is supposed to be able to discern when something is not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you know, we're not spending any time in the Word, if we're not spending any time actually edifying ourselves and feeding ourselves what we need to feed ourselves, then we're not going to be able to identify what's right from wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we can kind of cross our fingers and say, oh, I'm a believer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that, you know, or, you know, oh, the Lord will never. And that's fine and dandy, but it's our spirits are our responsibility. and you can take it for granted if you want to, but that's not the right answer.
Agreed.
So,
all right, y'all. Well, be careful out there. For those y'all, be trick or treating and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like we'll not be out there in them streets. But
and I used to, you know what, man, I used to really have a good time. I remember once, man, the last time I did with Naya was like 6 years old, and she had like a little ferry, thing or whatever, and it was in downtown Norcross, and this family had like set up, and all the adults were outside. She made some punch, like apple cider, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. And I was always somebody like, don't take something if it's not in the wrapper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This was a bunch of adults sitting around drinking. I was like, is this Sprite? She was like, no, it's just warm cider. And that's the first time ever in my life I was like, I'll take a cup. And it was just warm cider. It was cool.
Okay.
But I really hit the hard pause after that. And I used to go to Halloween parties and all that kind of stuff, man. But like I said, conviction. And I think a lot of that had to do with the environment that I was in and seeing like how people turned up to a whole different level, you know what I'm saying? When it came to that time of life, it's like, damn, okay, well, I got to get out. I got to, so I just did a complete 180 for me. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, man. Stay away from The Conjuring. Just don't go see it.
Yep.
My advice.
And until next time,
Be blessed.
stay away from The Conjuring. And until next time, get busy.
Peace.